Yes, we're going to travel an unsafe route just to see what happens and save our insight. As I am now fated to be your shadow, Domin Ignatius, we must perform a ritual that will seal our bond, for it pleases the Undying One. Let us speak on the bridge, and I will take us to a place appropriate for the ritual. What is this ritual? Come and you will see. I do not wish to speak of the mysteries of the blood-spun web over the rocks. This knowledge is not meant for the ears of the uninitiated. Are you sure right now in the middle of an unsafe jump is when we should be doing this ritual? I'll be there. Thank you, Domin. I wish to inform you that the sacred rituals addressed to the spirit of the ship have been performed. The tech liturgy and the rite of the machine blessing ended with the data meditation in order to comprehend the nature of the miracle sent down by the Omnissiah. Acquisition of sacred knowledge has not been recorded. How the spirit of the void ship was able to call upon the power of the machine god and activate the warp drive remains an unknown, yet during my meditative ritual, the Omnissiah gave me an equally valuable revelation. The sacred spirit that lives in the bowels of the ship's mechanism differs from other analogous forms. This spirit holds a unique power that cannot be called anything less than the blessing of the machine god. Remind me what you wanted to find out. I don't remember what he was looking into, so I kind of do want that reminder. When the ship's warp engine was filled with the motive force despite the mass of computational errors, a true technological miracle was achieved. No doubt, it was the grace of the Omnissiah, but no such occurrence have been described in the catalog before. Hoping to gain sacred knowledge of the nature of what happened, I embarked on blessed research and prayer. Right. So when we left the original system, there were problems with the ship. No. The only time I recall having weird issues was when we were talking to that computer that's off. Unless that's what he's talking about. Where we gave it our blood and he was trying to understand the errors and then we spoke to it. And it started responding properly. I don't remember the event that he's referring to. Yeah, I don't know. So what does this mean? Hypothesis. In extremis, the ship's... Was that our ship? Because I remember once we got through the computer and it started working, all I recall it doing was giving us 2 different locations of where Theodora had safe locations of information, knowledge, items, whatever, that we needed to check out. But I don't remember... Yeah. There's some part of this that I've forgotten. Or I'm mixing 2 different events in my mind. Don't remember. In extremis, the ship's spirit is capable of making unpredictable calculations and actions. It is impossible to predict how it will behave in any given situation, but I believe the spirit is currently showing obedience. At least for now. I recommend we continue monitoring the ship and be prepared for new manifestations. Yeah, the idea that the ship on its own will make decisions. It seems like in this one instance that he's referring to, the ship made a very useful useful determination that helped us. But there's also the possibility that it might choose an option that's not beneficial or disobey. And that's less ideal. The report is received. Thank you, Pascal. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Okay. It seems we safely made it to this system. Let's head back to the bridge and try and find Kibellah. See this ritual of hers, which thankfully we are not doing mid-warp jump. Because strange rituals should not happen when you're going through the warp. Alright, Kibellah usually hangs out down here. Yeah, where she will promptly slice herself open. Yep, every time.
Domin.
Kibellah puts away the dagger she has been using to reopen her freshly closed wound. Yeah, I'm ready for that binding ritual.
Then follow me, Domin.
We haven't yet done her quest line, or I guess the DLC quest line. Maybe we should look into that at some point, since we have started doing some of the quests for a few of our allies.
Are you ready to step into the Labyrinth, Domin?
Kibellah moves in a peculiar semblance of an athletic exercise, her movements tracing an inscrutable pattern. What exactly are we going to do? What is all this on the floor? I'm ready, or get on with it. The sooner we are done with this, the better. I'm not going to insult her. I want to know more about this ritual, so what exactly are we going to do?
This is the ritual of binding. By the Undying One's will, our fates and ours one. But I must still guide you into the maze of my mind. Although it is my predestination alone to walk its corridors in search of answers, your image must become part of the tangle. For I am your shadow, Domin, and your presence will aid me in sensing whatever threats may be looming over you.
And what is all this on the floor?
Instructions, directions, a depiction of the puzzle that can only be solved within one's own consciousness by following its bends and turnings. I do not require these lines to find my way, but for you, they will serve as a guiding thread.
Okay. Huh. Then I guess I'm ready, Kibellah. Let us begin.
Your weapon for the ritual. Watch the lines on the floor. You can only pass through the gaps. The rest, you need not know. Enter the Labyrinth, Domin.
Kibellah draws a curved blade and offers it to you. And then she bows curtly and assumes a combat stance. Ooh, cutscene. We are definitely ignoring the lines. 100% ignoring the lines. Odd.
You are now upon the path. Your shadow now walks the labyrinth, and my gaze can now see when danger draws near you.
Kibellah's breathing is steady, and there is no change in her solemn expression, and her lips continue moving for a while longer, her eyes tracing the lines on the floor. Can you tell me what this really was? What is the true meaning of this rite? Despite what a captivating expression of your culture. Thank you for performing this ritual, Kibellah. I believe we are done here. Or can we stop this nonsense now? Yeah, can you tell me what this really was? What is the true meaning of this rite?
You are not required to understand. You have joined the ritual. That will suffice.
Kibellah glances at you with apprehension. I did not mean to offend you. I only seek understanding why this matters to you, to understand you. Forget I asked. I am torn between 1 and 2. Definitely want to say I didn't mean to offend you, but also I just seek to understand. I'm going to go with 2. I seek to understand why this matters to you, to understand you.
Understand me? Why, Domin? My fate is preordained, and our places assigned. We both must serve the Undying One, as his design foretells. But if such is indeed your wish...
She raises her chin, and then Kibellah hesitates. You see her eyebrow creeping upward before quickly straightening once more.
My path of service to the Undying Emperor is one of many twists and pitfalls. Every mind is fraught with weakness, and only by honing it tirelessly can one achieve focus and prime one's perception. I envision the tenets of the web as a maze of tangles and dead ends. Each time I go into a trance, be it one of the soul or of battle, I walk this path from beginning to end. And now that you're a part of it, you will be there with me when next I enter the Labyrinth.
Okay. So it's a mental exercise for her to keep herself focused on the Undying Emperor and the tenants. She pictures in her mind this labyrinth, and now by us having been in this ritual, in this labyrinth with her, we'll be there when she next mentally enters her, I guess, mental palace. Okay, that makes sense to me.
You may deem it strange. You live in a world so far removed from my own that such rituals must seem absurd to you. I am sure I would find your rituals equally mystifying.
She permits herself a smile, to smile in the very corners of her mouth, and a spark of flustered curiosity lights up in her normally aloof gaze. To an outsider, what happened here would have looked like an ordinary fight, but your senses grasp something more. They allow you to perceive a fragile bond that is formed between the two of you in the midst of this blade dance. It is as if Kibellah's mind has opened up, reached out to yours, and acquainted itself with it. A surprising display of power and direction for someone who possesses no psychic abilities or appears to be unaware of their own gift. My rituals, what do you mean? Or, yes, you are right. Our rituals are simply too different for us to understand each other. I mean, as a psyker, I probably have my own rituals. They're not obviously shown or whatever, but psykers typically do have rituals or, various actions to keep their mind focused. So, but yeah, my rituals, what do you mean?
You are empowered by the will of the Undying One himself. And yet, when I look at your life, I am surprised. You follow a different thread, one that does not seem as strict to your thoughts and deeds. There is so much luster.
Would you like to see my world, Kibellah? You have allowed me to witness your ritual. It is only fair that I show you one of mine. Reasonable. My world is more than mere luster. Perhaps it would help you to have a closer look at my life. Also a decent answer. You're right, our rituals are simply too different for us to understand each other. I'm gonna go with the first one. Would you like to see my world, Kibellah? You have allowed me to witness your ritual. It's only fair that I show you one of mine.
To partake in one of your ceremonies? Returning the courtesy. That is how you say it up here, isn't it? I will await your invitation.
Kibellah pauses to think and then offers you a respectful bow.
The Labyrinth has accepted you. We have danced amid the crossing lines and minds, and by the dance, we are now bound.
Kibellah straightens, stows her weapon, and gives you a short bow. Bath time? Yeah, the ritual I'm going to show you is taking a bath. At some point I should figure out what happens if I invite a crew member to the bath when I am taking a bath, just to see what that involves. Because it seems like a weird thing, which is why I haven't done it. So we got some quests there. Kibellah has accepted the Lord Captain's invitation to learn more about the ceremonial customs of the ship's upper decks. In order to host a truly memorable ceremony, the Lord Captain should discuss the preparations with a high-fact totem on the bridge. Okay, so this isn't showing off my psyker rituals. This is showing off ceremonial customs of the upper deck. That's a shame. I've seen enough video games to know what happens at baths. I mean, that's true. But usually that happens if you have started a romantic... if you've been focusing on a romance with specific party members. I can apparently invite any of my allies. So I'm curious if we just chill, talk in the bath, have a relaxing time. It's odd. The High Factotum Janus Danrock greets you with a cool smile and the merest hint of a bow. Pleasure to see you, Lord Captain. How may I be of assistance? Oh. Fiery Reckoning. From what I can tell, it's a void ship of some sort. It was mentioned in one of Theodore's documents I found. Okay, we can ask him about that. I think I will. Yeah, what do you know about the Fiery Reckoning? Janus thinks for a moment, pursing his lips in concentration. I'm afraid it is not immediately familiar to me, your lordship. Please, allow me a moment. He starts rapidly tapping on the screen of his data slate. I say, House von Valentius did indeed sign a contract with the owners of a vessel with the designation Fiery Reckoning. There are transactions, records of the ship picking up cargo from Kibellah Gamma. Well, this is odd. The data log ends there. Apparently the ship had some interactions with one of the workshops on your industrial world. I beg your pardon, your lordship, but that is the extent of the assistance I can provide you in regard to this particular matter. Yeah, when we were going through our room, we found a data slate that mentioned that ship, where it seemed like they were to me at least, it sounded like sabotage that they were planning. And Kibellah Gamma, we know, is our industrial world that's having trouble at the moment. So that might all be related. I would like to introduce Kibellah to some of the customs practiced among people of my stature. Show her what life is like on the upper decks, so to speak. That'll be so foreign to her. It's gonna be fun. Janus huffs pensively. Your lordship is most courteous. What exactly did you have in mind? Warp translation ritual. Okay. An officer's report meeting. How about a social event? I was counting on you to choose an appropriate ritual. I mean, she's always here on deck. I assume she's seen the warp translation ritual, as well as an officer's report meeting. We could invite her to a social event, but she might be off-putting to all the other people in a social circumstance, given her need to constantly be slicing herself open. But the most ritualistic of these would be the warp translation ritual. So if she has somehow not been paying attention or avoiding being on deck whenever it happens, then that would be a cool one for her to see. I doubt our navigator and master helmsman would be thrilled. The warp does not forgive frivolity, so order and discipline during translation must be absolute, and your lordship should not have any distractions either. Okay, so probably during the translation itself, there is very specific people doing very specific things, and so all of our crew that's normally hanging out up here probably has to go elsewhere. I could see that, I suppose. Janus adjusts his frock coat and nods enigmatically. I will see what can be arranged. And do not worry for a single moment. I promise to find the most suitable approach. I will contact you the moment I have something to offer. I was curious if he would say pros and cons of that choice and then allow me to ask about the others. But it seems not. So we're going to go with the warp translation ritual, which is fine. It's a thing that happens often enough that she can stand in on one of them, preferably one where we're going in on a safe route, so there's less chance of something going wrong. Enough questions for now. I shall return later. I shall await your instructions, Lord Captain. So the High Factotum is going to deliver the news once he figures out how best to handle that. Okay, and that's everything in this system. So let's go back to the map. Or did we just translate to a new location? Maybe we did. Either way, we need to go to the map. Yes, we just made it to here. Ooh, there's a lot going on in this system. We've got a drifting void ship and a bunch of unnamed planets. Looks like that's it. Let's go to the drifting void ship first. Oh, we actually have to go into it. cool. So that's not just an event. Alright, we'll take our usual crew. I was thinking we'd have some sort of event of potentially helping them if they were still alive but just in trouble. Or maybe it would just be like, it's empty, grab some loot, and then move on. It's just a quick little event. But no. Do we have any way up here? Not yet. So we can't get to those goods.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Okay, a door there. And an action we can do there. We'll go through this door first. What is our party order? Just realized that with Abelard back, we probably didn't readjust. Abelard should be more in the front than Kibellah. Okay, this does not look like quick... Yeah, maybe it's a quick detour. The stomach-turning bloody smears on the wall form a malevolent symbol. The blood seems to have penetrated deep into the metal. Okay, so we've got some amount of heresy going on here.
A new challenge for me?
Acquisition is possible.
Okay, so we can get up here. The only way up to here to grab those goods, there's no existing door. We just have to blow up the wall. Who builds this ship this way?
The Emperor favors me today.
Sure, we'll just blow a hole in the wall so that we can get these goods. Alright, Pascal, unlock this for me.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Makes no sense to have an area that has no access point. Okay. Dull sounds produced by the ventilation system created the illusion that the ship is breathing like a living and terribly sick creature. Alright, this is continuing to go further. Should I have checked out that other route first?
It's about time.
Yes, we've got stuff going on here. A mad tech priest. Let's go see what this other door is before we go there. Toss down a save. I always want to go on the side paths before I go down the main path. A formidable looking door blocks the way into the next module. It is covered in scratches, as if someone clawed at the cold metal for a very, very long time. The door does not respond to your touch, and stands fast, refusing to open. The writing above the door reads, Main Computing Cathedral. The tech priest blesses himself with a protective symbol, his hand visibly shaking. Shield us, O machine god, from the evil that has taken hold of your temple. Save us, preserve us from the corruption. Show us the way. Hello? The sacred metal that bars our path is weakened. Let us appeal to the machine spirit of one of the generators, so that the metal may drink from its blessed energies. There should be one hidden somewhere in this module. What is this evil you mentioned? Are you alright? Generate it is then. Got it. What is this evil you mentioned? The tech priest says nothing for a while. Then his box comes to life, but the voice is hoarse, punctuated by static and interference. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. I am merely his servant. I cannot discern what has stricken the abode of the machine god, but I do sense a distortion of the structure, disfigurement of the molecular order. The ship is sick. Further conversing is unproductive. The will of the Omnissiah has brought us to these doors. Thus our task is clear. Search for a way to proceed beyond so we can discover a means of cleansing these halls. Alright, well, inspect the door mechanism. Succeeded. The door and the entire adjacent section of the bay have no power. There must be a backup generator somewhere nearby. Once you turn it on, you should be able to proceed. Alright, let's look around. The main thing that catches your eye about the place is the state of the wall panels by the door. They bear numerous scratches, 5 in a row, resembling claw marks. Some of the panels look like they could fall off at any moment. Here and there you see the occasional sparks and the crackling of damaged wires behind them. Okay, so someone has been trying to claw their way in there unsuccessfully, and we found a mad tech priest is hiding up here. That is probably related.
Victory awaits.
Hello, mad tech priest. We can talk to him, which is good. It's not just immediate combat. This tech priest can barely stand. From the many wounds where pieces of flesh used to be, blood mixes with oil. Mixed with oil is seeping out. Okay. Looks like we could attack that, given that it's red. Don't think I would want to. I don't know what it is.
I'll lay claim to the stars. We should deal with this.
Oh. Paused. Did we spot a trap? I don't see a trap. But the game paused. I just see that. I'm definitely going to step on a trap by accident because I don't see what is being... Abelard spotted a trap. Where? Well, let's unpause. I don't like this. It's definitely not this. But I don't see what else he might have spotted. Well, I'm going to save. Hopefully when we hit it, I will then know where it's at.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Okay, hidden door over there. I guess let's check that out first. Ah, there's a trap. And there's a trap that we don't get a pause. So this must have been the trap that he spotted. Somehow. Alright, Argenta.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder, as if a
Have you
field of flowers was blossoming nearby.
quickly move
A child
around.
saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
Okay. Provocator's helmet applies a -10 penalty to perception for all attacks made against the wearer and to all enemies in a 2-cell radius from the wearer. You penalize the enemy's perception? Huh. Perception is used for what attacks? Because most attacks are going to be either weapon skill or ballistic skill. Potentially willpower for psyker attacks. How does perception factor in? I guess specific abilities, like class abilities, could apply. That doesn't seem terribly useful to me.
Follow my lead.
Okay. That's fun. Dark reddish blotches form the words, O Omnissiah, the hour is upon us. Your imagination is playing tricks on you, making you see faces twisted in a scream in the stains on the metal. I mean, that doesn't look like imagination. There's just actually faces on the wall.
None shall stand in my way.
Open the damaged door with a logic test. Probably the smart way to do it rather than trying to rush through it. Alright, Pascal.
Operation successful.
Yeah. The Mad Tech Priest is weird to just leave behind us. At some point, that's going to cause a problem, I'm sure. Oh, we've got more Tech Priests. Another Mad Tech Priest. And that's probably the generator that we can interact with. Let's toss down yet another save. I don't know what these are, why they glow red. Let's grab these goods. Or not. Emperor, protect us. This is a house of darkness and corruption. Yeah, I was starting to notice that. You know, the faces on the wall being a reasonable sign that something's gone wrong. Alright, Tech Priest, what's your deal? The priest is busy attempting to sew together the innards sticking out of his abdominal wound and the flexible wire emerging from the depths of the bulkhead. Gross. So he's trying to sew himself together, his innards, with the wires of the bulkhead. You can see that? Okay, that's not down there. Try and get a look. One of the many modules providing power to the massive ship. I don't think we want to walk through the electricity. Pascal, if you could tech use this for me.
Making adjustments.
The odd behavior of the Transformers must have been... His tech use failed. What? The odd behavior of the Transformers must have been caused by some malfunction. You are unable to identify its source. Can I have you try again? No. Well now. I don't know if I can have someone else try. It's tech use. Does anyone else have a reasonable tech use? 30, 30, 80, 30, 35, 30. Oh dear. I did save beforehand.
We must act.
Well, is there any harm in having all of us try? No, it looks like I'm not even getting a roll. Pascal got one roll and then everyone else just gets the same statement. That is a shame. Oh, okay.
Victory awaits.
I'm enraged!
Mistakes were made.
Brace yourself, Avalon.
Didn't look like there was much electricity going on here. Okay, I'm gonna reload that. Thought we were walking around the electricity, but I guess you can see a little bit is going on. Not sure what else I was supposed to do then, though. When the characters suffered a number of injuries, these injuries are replaced with a trauma. Make use of medkits in time to treat injuries to avoid characters suffering traumas. Removing traumas is a more difficult task. They can only be healed by resting on the ship or in certain other places suitable for rest. I am curious about traumas because we've never had them. Head trauma. This creature's intelligence, perception, willpower, and fellowship are reduced by 15. Broken ribs. You got broken ribs from the electricity? Dude. This creature's strength and toughness are reduced by 20. Action points reduced by 1. Also broken ribs. Also broken ribs. 3 of us got broken ribs by running through electricity. Alright, let's reload that. Because that's nonsense. I don't reload often, but sometimes. So we'll talk to this guy again, as we did before. Then we will loot the goods.
It's about time.
How am I supposed to get through this if we can't do anything with that? Clutching the soldering iron in his left hand, the priest casually solders the contacts on the implant in his right hand to the panel. I mean, do I need to just kill the tech priest? I'm wondering if attacking this, but it doesn't look like the wires are in any way connected to that. But it can't be that if you fail this tech use, you just can't go on. Or take major penalties trying to go on. Because that would be insane. Save here. You got 90%, Pascal. Don't fail again, please.
The machine god grants the insight.
Okay, the behavior of the Transformers was caused by no common mechanical malfunction. It is possible that the cause is of supernatural origin. Oh, but we can't actually shut it off. Do they actually mean for us to run through that?
None shall stand in my way.
They can't. Is there any way for us to get up here?
Ready for data input.
'Cause there's nothing for us to interact with. Nope, he's just gonna run through it. Well,
Anything worthy of my attention.
he's got trauma, which isn't good. But he might be able to just solve whatever's going on here. Try talking to the mad technomat? Who's there? Who's talking to me? Oh, machine spirits. Is it you I'm hearing? I don't know. This whole situation here seems weird where there's not any way to shut this down and you just take crazy injuries trying to run past. There's got to be something I'm missing about how we're supposed to deal with this. But yeah, cut the power while you're here. Whoa. Hey now, everyone go over here.
Lay claim to the
There were
stars.
lots of weird bodies flashing. Only a 71 on this lore warp. Toss down another save.
This cannot be.
Why are we missing all of our checks? Dude. Spectrum reveals nothing. Perhaps the strange vision was a mere trick of the mind. Huh. We can't get another attempt. Probably even if we use someone else who had
in the presence
the
of
skill.
House Orselio.
Yeah. I don't want to just keep reloading, but I also don't want to keep failing all the checks.
Victory awaits.
No loot over here or anything. Alright, I'm gonna reload. I want to see all the things. These are skills I should be capable of. Come on, roll well.
I did fine.
There are noticeable signs of warp activity here. The bloody spectacle you witnessed may have been a simple illusion or a vision of the past or future. Okay. I mean, the 8 experience isn't that important,
A new challenge for
but
me.
it's something. But more, I just want to see the story.